we thought we would as well talk to you about some of the experience that AWS has had working with NRENs over the world. Look, as NRENs help their members with cloud services. So one of the area that we see is the role, the critical role that the NREN needs to play as the institutions implement their cloud strategies. And we've listed a few things that we've seen, and I'll just take you through those. The first one is that the NREN can play a role as an operator of the cloud framework agreements. And my colleague Fuad will talk to you about some of that in a later stage. We've seen some of the NRENs becoming AWS partners and resellers of AWS services. We've also seen some of the NREN offering cloud professional services and consultancy. And this really is aligned to the fact that most of the institutions, especially within the African context, are in the first or second stage in the cloud maturity model, where they're experimenting, testing out the technology, getting an understanding to best leverage cloud to meet business needs. And this step is quite critical for the universities as they are trying to put their cloud strategies together. And NREN can play a critical role, obviously, with the help of AWS to assist the universities by offering various tools and mechanisms to support this process, and also obviously to support some of the training initiatives that need to happen in this early stage. So and around here, things like ensuring that the best practice sharing is spread around the community is one of the critical areas that the NREN can play. Another point is having a center of excellence, or cloud center of excellence, where the NREN can probably build skills around cloud consultants, solutions architects, security specialists, and engineers in the initial phases to support the universities. And tied to the Cloud Frameworks Agreement, managing pricing or negotiating pricing, billing management, cost optimization, and management of promotional credits that AWS could offer through the NREN to the community or their members. And then lastly, we talk about community support, things like webinars is the one that we're in, training and certification, and events that the NREN could work with AWS to offer to its full community. Next slide, please. So what are some of the key considerations for an NREN that we've seen? Is obviously, I think the first and probably the most difficult one is the leadership appetite and the strategic direction of an NREN to go in this route. And obviously the appetite to risk. Some of the other things is to consider the funding model and how the NREN will serve the community, and what mechanisms will be put in place to cover costs and who will pay the bills. So those are all covered under the funding model, and obviously the financial situation and the total cost of ownership analysis. NREN also need to understand what their customers need and requirements and expectations. This obviously is not a job only NREN, the NREN would work at. AWS would assist you with identifying the institutions that want to take the leadership role in this space, and then work with you to refine some of those needs and requirements. And then lastly, and probably the most critical, maybe this should have gone to the top, is the resource availability within the NREN and the skills required to support cloud adoption. And certain decisions that go with it, like whether the resources that are utilized are the NREN's own resources, or whether an outsourced managed services are used to support the institution.